Welcome to the February 17th, 2022 meeting of the Lakeville Library Board of Trustees. We have a call to order at 2:00 p.m. I will read this. In accordance with the provisions allowed by Chapter 20 of the Acts of 2021, the February 17, 2022 public meeting of the Lakeville Library Board of Trustees will be held remotely. However, to review this meeting in progress, please go to facebook.com/LakeCAM, and you do not need a Facebook account to view the meeting. This meeting will be recorded and available to be viewed at a later date at http://www.lakecam.tv/. Present today, we have trustees Nancy Lefebvre, Patrick Marshall, Ruth Gross, Library Director Jamie Viveros, and recording and live streaming the meeting, we have Sean Rutledge from LakeCAM. We have the Secretary's report first on the agenda, and I would like to know if everyone is comfortable with the report as it is. If so, I move
we waive the reading of the January 20th and the February 8th minutes.
I'll second that with one correction. If I can make an addendum to your motion, Nancy, just to correct Kevin's name on the January 8th to Sean Rutledge for LakeCAM.
Okay. So why don't we take them one at a time then, since we have a correction on one. So Nancy, would you amend your motion to January 20th minutes, please?
What if Patrick withdraws his second and I withdraw my motion? We start again.
That works.
All right,
okay.
Let's repeat.
All right. I will entertain a motion to accept the January 20 trustee meeting minutes as amended by Patrick just now.
So moved.
There you go.
Second.
All right. All those in favor, roll call vote, please. Nancy?
Yay. Aye.
Patrick?
Aye.
And I vote aye. So that passes. Now I will entertain a motion to accept the February 8th meeting of the Library Trustees with the Select Board and the Finance Committee. And I would like to entertain a motion to accept those as written.
So moved.
So moved. Second.
Okay. Roll call vote. Nancy?
Aye.
Patrick?
Aye.
And I vote aye. Motion passes. Okay. The next thing is our financial report. Jamie, if you'd like to walk us through that, please.
Sure. I feel like I'm becoming somewhat of a broken record with this. There's really nothing to report as far as any concerns on the budget. We are well into the year. The percentages are fine as far as expenses. I'm anticipating the next oil bill will be interesting, but we have enough in the line there to cover it. And I will just have to start monitoring. I monitor anyway the materials spending, but I'm realizing I'm a little bit behind in terms of the percentage there. I've got to make sure that I have my ordering done. I have a feeling that there's probably invoices from January that I haven't received, but besides that, that's just something in-house for me. There's really no concerns as far as the amount of the budget, unless there are any questions.
Hearing no questions. Thank you, Jamie. We will go on to your director's report. Could you tell us about programming services collections, please?
Sure. So winter spring story hour began last full week of January, and we'll run through the third week of May. At this point, Ms. Teresa is inside the large meeting room just because the weather is really not at a place where we can be outdoors yet, but that is still the plan, to move outdoors once the weather improves. She does have craft kits available again for anyone who's interested for the full session of the story hour. The first of 3 STEM themed programs was held back in January. On January 18th, it was fingerprints and forensics. So these programs I'm going to be talking about are supported by a grant from the HCA Charitable Contributions Fund, which is administered by the Lakeville Select Board. So we were all asked to put in grant projects and to support programming that we're doing here. And we had put in for a series of 3 STEM themed programs. So the one happened in January. We had engineering and Mars rover, which was this week. It was Tuesday of this week. And the last one of the series, bubbling chemistry, will be held on March 15th. And this is being done by a group that's called Science and Engineering Education Development. They're coming in, so they're PhD level scientists that are offering the kids a real hands-on experience with science themed programs. It's really fun. So for February, like as usual, we've got some fun family-friendly activities planned for school vacation week, including a Disney trivia night. Now that's going to be held on Zoom. When we planned this without knowing where conditions were going to be at, we kept it to being participating remotely. So Ms. Teresa's running a registration process for that. More information is available on the website, and she's got a couple of craft sessions planned for that week as well. As far as our adult programming, the Spark Joy decluttering program, which was a new kind of hybrid option for us, where we had a customized web page that was active for a 48-hour window, was successful. We had over 20 people register for the online access. I had a couple come in-house, but to do the viewing, we offered an in-house viewing of the videos in case people didn't have access to the technology at home. But most of the people tapped into it kind of remotely. So it was a little bit different. People signed up, they got access. So I would consider trying that again. We had Greg Dwyer this week. He's a motivational speaker and former illusionist. It was kind of interesting. He had sort of a magician bent to some of the things he did and had us doing hands-on activities during the program. He did join us from Connecticut via Zoom for this live interactive workshop, and he spoke about kind of the importance of focus and had some nuggets of wisdom for everyone who attended to kind of figure out how to get a little bit more out of life, and we all left with like an action plan. So it was well received, good participation on part of the attendees, some library patrons that I know we see sometimes in person, but they joined us in on Zoom. And our small group activities are still running dinners and cribbage, and we're still doing hybrid model of the novelties book club. Oh, and I have a note too, like we're still working on the local history room too. I'll talk more about that at some point when I actually have like kind of where we're at. We're still, we started with doing really just an inventory to see what we had, and then looking at the groupings that are in there. So I'll definitely check in with you, Nancy, because I know like the Historic Commission was involved some with helping to organize that room. So we're just kind of going through figuring out what we have, and then determining if just to have like more of the staff be aware of what's in there so we can better help our patrons. Next month, we've got for an upcoming program, a real live early music program. So this will be an in-person session. Like we're moving away from Zoom now that the conditions are better, which is good. So we will have the Harper and the Minstrel here on Thursday, March 31st to offer what we're calling an early music program. So it's going to highlight vocal and instrumental music from the 13th to the 18th century, but I'm excited to have kind of a more traditional model for our programming back on the calendar. And I'm really actually starting my the program planning is going out as like far as July now. Like during most of COVID, it was kind of a month or two at a time figuring out what was going to work. But we generally would have planned 6 months in advance. So I'm happy to be getting back into the swing of that thing there.
Well, that's great.
That's what I got for program services and collection stuff.
That's a lot of programming, honestly. I mean, it's very impressive. Thank you, Jamie. Does anybody have questions or comments? No? Okay, moving on to the building and grounds, please.
I don't really have anything to report. I'm excited.
No
to
news
leave
is good news.
I'm like excited to leave the no news to report.
Yes.
Yeah, and like I said, the recent snow events have been fine. DPW has been fantastic about getting us cleared out. I have to put that out there publicly. Really appreciate. They've been doing a good job with keeping the lots clear. Even on that Saturday where it was a little dicey in terms of being icy, the staff was like, "Oh, the parking lot still seems icy." I reached out to Franklin. He had his crew come back through and do another pass. So, I really appreciate that. And the public does too. Like I said, we so far, and hopefully now it looks like spring. Well, today is spring, so maybe we won't have any more snow. I don't know. So far, so good.
We can only hope. Any questions on the building and grounds, Nancy or Patrick? Okay. Any other items on your
No,
report?
I usually just list the other things that I've kind of been involved in, like making you aware of department head meetings. Obviously, you were at the budget review meeting. I just include some of these other random things on the other items and some sales committee work. Just really, it's more of an awareness for you that there's other things being worked on, but yeah.
Can you fill us in on the Friends of the Library?
So the Friends, their next meeting is scheduled for Monday, March 7th at 6 o'clock. It's the first Monday, which is their traditional meeting day. Their renewal materials to renew memberships did go out last month in February. So for folks that are members, they'll be receiving the letter to ask them to continue being part of the Friends and supporting all of the activities that we have here at the library. Because honestly, a fair amount of what we do is supported through the fundraising that the Friends do. Like they're a great support for us, both in terms of advocating, volunteers and funding. So for example, the Friends support all of the museum passes, as well as a good amount of the programming. So a lot of the summer reading programming, and especially, anything that it might be craft related, or the brag tags, or things that, when we were doing the beads, I have no idea what the plan is for this summer yet. It's a little bit early to start talking about that, but whether or not we can go back to our traditional model for summer read this year, given the fact that things are moving in a better direction. Anything that's kind of more fun activities, the Friends are really the ones who support those things. We do seek other grant funds, but I just want to make people aware that most of the things that are fun and exciting to do here are supported by the Friends.
Amy, are the Friends meeting in person next month, do you know, or is that still?
No, they've been meeting in person because there's
Oh, okay.
generally, it's a relatively smaller group, and our meeting rooms are open at this point for community use. So we've had we had 5 meetings this month when you look at the statistics, which is like up over. I know it doesn't seem like a whole lot, especially when I look back at years past. We would traditionally support anywhere from 20-25 meetings a month here and there. It's not quite at the same capacity, but we're seeing people coming in to use the spaces, and the Friends decided to continue meeting in person. I know the boards and committees are still encouraged to meet remotely when they can, as long as they can conduct business normally. The remote option is really still the preferred method, but there are some of the smaller boards and committees, I think, that are meeting in person. And I'm sure we're going to start to see more of that coming back. The other thing that I haven't really heard about, and perhaps I should look unless you've heard about it, Patrick, is like the ability to have the remote meetings was kind of put out there through April of 2022. I assume that they're
It
just.
was extended to July 15th, I believe.
See, Patrick knew already. Yeah.
Yeah.
So just
That came down a couple weeks ago.
yeah, that might happen where the ability to do it. So I guess at some point you'll have to decide as a board, you're small enough that I don't think there would be a cause for concern, but the remote, we're still able to conduct the business. So it's really going to be up to you about when you would want to come back in person, if at all, or wait through when the act expires.
Okay. Well, we'll see how the numbers go and how everybody's life goes, I guess. All right. Does anybody have any questions for Jamie on her director's report? Yes, the only thing on the agenda that was not included was Great Ponds Gallery, which we have the abstract art exhibit by Joseph and Tina up right now. And on March 1st, we will be installing our exhibit of high school artwork from students at Apponequet and Old Colony, and that'll be up for the month of March. With a Meet the Artists event on Saturday, March 5th. We're not calling it a reception because we are not including refreshments this year. So any questions, comments? Going on to Jamie, would you like to tell us about our April 24th event?
Sure. So I'm putting this on the agenda for you to consider allowing us to have golf in the library on a Sunday. So this typically has happened on a day where we're not normally open for library business. Now, we've had golf in the library in the past. It's been a fundraising event, kind of put on by the Friends, where they would ask local businesses for support to bring in the mini golf setup. So the library gets turned into an 18-hole course, mini golf course. So it goes all the way throughout the building. So it's not really a day that we could operate as a library. It has a very different feel that day. And so we've traditionally done it on a Sunday when we've had it in the past, but I always put this before the board for you to discuss, and whether or not that you're okay with use of the building on and off time. So we would have it Sunday, April 24th from 12 to 4. Now for this year, what I did do is put in for grant funding from the HCA Charitable Contribution Fund. So this would we would run it more as a program as opposed to asking the community for donations. So it would be just an open event for families of Lakeville to come and participate in. It's really fun. The children like it a lot. And actually, the adults play too. It's not just for the kids. But it would be the same kind of event, but just open to the public for free, no expectation of donation for play, which is what we've kind of done in the past. As long as you're okay with.
Was it funded through the charitable?
Yes, it was.
It was funded?
Yes, they did approve it. So we work with Mini Golf LLC. He has all of the equipment that comes in. So he's got all the setups, all the golf clubs, the golf balls, and then there's even little flags at every tee. So he kind of comes and does the setup. We would run the same arrangement because we kind of already worked where all of the holes will fit, and then he cleans up for the day. It's been a nice day in the past.
Do you like a motion, Madam Chairman?
Right, I would, yeah, probably.
Okay, then, would someone please make a motion to accept golf in the library on Sunday, April 24th from 12 to 4 PM?
So moved.
Second,
Okay. Do we need a roll call on this one, Jamie? Nancy, yeah, okay. So Nancy, your vote, please.
Aye.
Patrick?
I,
And I'm also in favor. So yes, wonderful. Thank you, Jamie.
Oh, thank you.
All right, Patrick and Nancy, do you have anything you'd like to discuss or add to the meeting? All right, then we need to choose our next meeting date.
so if we go on our usual, it would be St. Me Day on March 17th.
Well, does
Is
anyone
that
have
a
any?
holiday in your life though?
It is a holiday.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
wherever
you're
I am.
planning to be working that day, or is that a day off for you?
Holiday no matter where I am, Jamie.
2:00?
So, okay, so is that a day that's good for everybody?
If we're doing Zoom, the 2 o'clock's fine. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I don't have my, I know I have something that day, but I will change it if it's in the, at that time slot. Okay. So March 17th or St. Patrick Marshall's Day. And at 2 o'clock will be our next meeting. Okay. Assuming there's nothing else, Jamie, you have anything else?
I have anything else?
Okay, then I will entertain a motion to adjourn this meeting.
So moved.
Second?
All right. Nancy,
Aye.
roll call vote. Patrick?
I.
I am in favor as well. We are adjourned at 22 PM.